Okay, so we're here once again in Sword Factory X, and we have recently gotten a Halloween Part 2 update to the game, and it's added some really interesting things that I don't believe we've ever seen before in any form of Sword Factory. So honestly, it's a really interesting update indeed, and once again, I think they've done an absolutely amazing job introducing some really cool new updates to the game. So yeah, let's go through everything that they've added in through this update. So the first one you might see, above the shop it now says new, and that is because I've actually added in some really interesting things. So the first one here is the new candy shop, where basically you can get candy and then spend it on all sorts of really cool things, such as random swords, a candy upgrade where you can actually get a chance of the candy dropping from bosses, you can get rare molds and qualities, an arachnid sword with a 33% chance for getting cracked, as well as an alpha sword as well. I will show what those actually are in a minute, as well as a fourth ascender as well. So I do believe now the fourth ascender has actually been introduced into the game, maybe as you can see over here. So yeah, you can now get the fourth slot as well as the third slot as well. I haven't even gotten the third slot yet, so it's going to take me a while to get that. But yeah, basically it's really cool to see this, and also there's some interesting new things that I've added as well. One of them being this arachnid sword and the other being this alpha sword. So if you come over to the index real quick and scroll down in the molds, as you can see all the way down at the bottom, there is the new arachnid mold, 200 million times value, which is absolutely crazy. You can actually get this from your machine, I do believe, if you are extremely lucky. However, I highly doubt that's going to happen. But yeah, basically for what, how much was it? 7,000. You can actually get a very good mold on your sword. A really cool looking one as well, with the spider down there. Really nice looking mold overall. And there is also this alpha sword as well, and you might actually realise it does say sword with serial number and 100 times value, and that does cost 36,000. So basically for the first set of people, I'm not too sure if the serial number is like limited or whether everybody has a serial number no matter when you buy it. But if we do go into the index real quick and scroll down, as you can see, this alpha sword down here has the same value as the arachnid sword. However, it is only obtainable through that shop, I believe, and it is exclusive with a serial number. So basically, for the first ever person that gets an alpha sword, they will actually have a serial number of 1, which most likely will have a very strong trade value on it indeed. So yeah, that's some really interesting and cool things as well. You can also get an impossible artifact for those who do like to use artifacts, and I do believe they've also added in artifact trading as well, which is always really good, and also the rare molds and the random swords, that's always really nice as well. I think the more interesting one is the candy upgrade for the 0.5% chance of dropping from dungeon enemies, just because you know you do kill quite a lot of dungeon enemies, so that's always going to be really good. But I'm also going to show you right now as well how to actually get this candy. So what you basically need to do is go into a dungeon, and basically when you open chests and stuff, there's a chance that it will actually drop from the chest. So let me just quickly sort out my swords real quick, making sure that I've got them all there. But yeah, basically when you open a chest, there's actually a slight chance that it will basically drop candy, which is always really nice. Now it can be literally anywhere between like 1 candy to 10 candy, I believe. You might be able to get more, but I've only seen 10 candy at the most, so you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's really interesting to see. So let's just quickly load into this dungeon real quick, and here we go. So is this my chest finder sword? It is indeed. Okay, good. So you might be able to see it now, you might not. No, but usually it does say over here that your candy has dropped, so that's always really nice as well. So we'll just quickly run through this dungeon right now, and there's also another thing new in this dungeon as well that I will cover once we actually get to it. And let me just quickly sort out my swords once again. So boom, no candy from that one either, which is pretty sad, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully we do get to see at least 1 candy drop from this. Usually I do get at least 1 from a dungeon, but I guess you have to be lucky for it. But yeah, let's just quickly kill all of these bosses real quick, kind of just go through them all, and nothing again from that chest either, so that's pretty sad. Also, I'm still yet to see some of the newer stuff as well. There is actually these new style of chests, which I hopefully will be able to see at some point. If not, then I'll just show you like the keys and stuff. Yeah, okay, here we go. So basically beforehand, we had these normal hallowed key chests. However, as you can see now, the normal one actually starts flashing red, which looks really interesting indeed. And on top of that as well, there's also these 2 other chests. One I believe is called the dark one, and the other one is called an evil chest, which is always really interesting to see. I will show you the keys afterwards as well. I do believe they are very rare to actually open and drop and stuff. As you can see there, we also got 8 candy from that chest, so that's always really good. But yeah, those actual chests now are very, very overpowered. We actually get another hallowed key one here as well. They are very overpowered indeed, especially if you do have Chest Finder Plus. Very, very good drops indeed. But yeah, let's just quickly kill this boss over here. I do believe now this boss actually does fight back. It has like all sorts of really cool attack moves and stuff, so that's always really good as well. As you can see, it's dropping like bombs and stuff, and it does like jump up in the air and try and like squish you and stuff. We get a random Illuminati sword, pretty decent but not too bad. Let's just quickly open up these last couple of chests here. No candy from those ones either, so we'll just quickly jump back right now. We get a, what even is that, an ectoplasm sword, a hellfire sword and a fossil sword. Not too bad, to be fairly honest, with some other random things as well. But yeah, you might have seen we did actually drop some candy. You can see how much you have in here in your backpack, basically the same place where you can actually see your hollowed keys. However, you will notice there is these 2 other keys as well. The evil key, which opens the evil chest in a new dungeon, and the darkness key, which opens darkness chest in the new dungeon as well. Now, I'm not too sure exactly on the chances of getting these. I'm going to assume it's the same as the chances as like the crimson and void chests from the magma dungeon. But yeah, overall it's going to be really interesting to see how strong they will be. If we just quickly look in here right now, we actually did get some decent drops like this vintage plus here, which actually looks really cool. I do like the way that actually looks as well. Not too sure exactly how good vintage is in rarities, so I'm going to have a quick look down here. Again, they've added all sorts of really cool rarities since I last did a video again, so honestly it's just amazing how much like different things they're putting in. So yeah, vintage isn't too bad, I guess. We've had a couple abstracts. You can see we have some classifieds as well in here. I do believe I have a Genesis somewhere in my bank or something, and then we also have some other really cool stuff down here as well, like symbiotic, elemental, phantasmic, as well as exothermic as well. All sorts of really cool modes once again. Now, where is that Genesis sword? I'm hoping it's up here. It is indeed, and as you can see, it's actually worth quite a lot. It has Overseer on it, it is Genesis, it has Magnet as well, and we also have this one next to it, the Abstract Plus, with all sorts of really cool things in it. I actually love the way this Genesis looks as well, with like the kind of like the sunset, I think it is, which also looks really cool. And up here we have a classified +4 ectoplasm sword with 16 quad decillion as well, which is really insane. So you know what, I'm gonna may as well just sell this right now anyways. There's not like I'm going to do anything else with it, so I'll just put that one down there, and I'm just going to sell this one. I'm going to also turn on some new boosts, because we can actually see there is some new boosts introduced into the game. One of them is ×2 candy, one of them is actually ×2 dungeon luck as well, which I think is going to be very overpowered indeed, and also ×2 artifact luck as well. In case you aren't getting any artifacts, you can turn this on and have a better chance of getting some of the better ones, like the impossible ones, maybe even, you know, the epic one or something like that, and the legendary one as well. So honestly, that's also a really good and strong mold. This ectoplasm sword looks really nice actually as well. Now, let me just quickly go back into the store real quick. Use a cash boost as well as an XP boost as well. I haven't really done anything too much with the enchants, I'm not really too bothered about them, but 32 quad decillion is going to be an absolutely massive amount. As you can see, we're only up to 635 trill decillion, which is pretty interesting to see. So yeah, let's just quickly wait for this sword to sell, and our level up here should absolutely bolt up right to the top. But yeah, whilst that's happening as well, we may as well go back into one more dungeon, just as we literally fall through the floor. Let's see if we can actually get there this time. There we go. So yeah, you can also see on this board down here, this luck boost down here, where you can actually, like, if you stay in the game for long enough, you actually get more luck. Basically, this now doesn't reset if you are server hopping, so if you are quick enough to rejoin another game, you can actually get more luck from this, which is pretty interesting as well. And up here it does say the Crimson and Void chest, which are from the other dungeon, but I do believe that is basically the same chances for these new Darkness and Evil key ones as well. So let's see if we can actually get any of these new ones. Will be really nice to see. But yeah, there is also another thing as well. There is some more extra luck for the dungeon, which is always really nice, as well as a new Judgment Plus enchant as well, which is always great to see. So we're actually seeing some really overpowered and very strong enchants being added into the game as well with these updates. So yeah, let's just quickly finish off this last dungeon over here, see what we can get, see if we can get anything decent from it. Open up our first chest, we get a, what even is that mold? A mithril, not too bad, but it is only a super, so we may as well go ahead and drop that down there. Keeping on through in again, keeping on through, and that doesn't even make sense. Let's just quickly open up this next one as well. Hopefully we can get some more candy as well. It's going to be a long time until someone actually gets 36,000 candy, but you know, with that ×2 candy boost, as well as maybe some of those drops as well, we get a godly sword there, which does have a 0 in it, but you know, it's not really great. I forgot to open that with my chest finder, doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, hopefully someone can get those alpha swords soon, because it'll be really interesting to see how those swords probably look in game, as well as how much they can actually boost up all sorts of really good stuff. Let's open up this hallowed key one. Can we get anything really good from it? An abstract +4 with hellfire on it, honestly not too bad, and chest finder as well, pretty decent overall. For that one right there. We do have another gold chest right here, but I don't think it's going to give me anything too crazy. Let's just quickly see what it gave me. An Inception +5, not too bad to be fairly honest. And then we're just getting up to the last room. Now we actually have another hallowed key one up here as well. They're actually very, very strong right now, especially with this chest finder. So I would recommend opening up all of these, as we get a classified ++ hellfire as well. Is it cracked? It is not cracked, but it is still a very decent value. Just going to drop that one down there for random reasons. But yeah, let's actually see as well what kind of attacks this does. It opens up a chainsaw. It does this kind of like stomp thing, and I do believe it has some bombs as well. It does drop every now and again. Yeah, as you can see there, I think you might have just about seen a bomb drop in there, but yeah, it does actually attack now, which is pretty good. So honestly, can't complain about that whatsoever. We get a pretty bad sword there, so honestly no one cares about that one. Opening up these last 2 chests as well. Don't think we actually got any candy from that one. No, we didn't. But we need to get up to that 100 to get that next little like kind of upgrade thing. What do we get from those last ones? We got another classified plus hellfire sword, and we also got this thing which is sitting on my head, a vintage plus as well. So yeah, overall the game is still getting some insane updates. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, because I definitely am. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.